Could a strange substance found by a southwest Arkansas man be part of a government test? Well, that's the question at the heart of a phenomenon called chemtrails, now getting widespread attention. Well, tonight, KSLA News 12 investigation reporter Jeff Farrell shows us the results of testing we had done about what's in our skies.
It seemed like some mornings it was just crisscrossing the whole sky. It was just like a giant checkerboard.
Bill Nichols snapped several photos of the strange clouds from his home in Stamps, Arkansas. They begin as normal contrails from a jet engine, but do not fade away like a normal contrail. Soon after, he saw particles in the air.
You know, because we'd see it drop to the ground in a haze.
Nichols then noticed the material collecting on the ground.
This is water and stuff that I collected in bowls. I had it set out in my backyard on my dad's pickup truck.
KSLA News 12 had the sample tested at a lab. The results? A high level of barium, 6.8 parts per million, more than 3 times the toxic level set by the EPA. Armed with these lab results about the high levels of barium found in our sample, we decided to contact the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. They told us that yes, these levels are very unusual, but at the same time they added the caveat that proving the source is a whole nother matter. Barium is a hallmark of other chemtrail testing, which even attracted attention from a Los Angeles TV station. There's already no shortage of unclassified weather modification programs by the government. But those who fear chemtrails could be secret biological or chemical testing on the public point to the 1977 Senate hearings in particular, which confirmed 239 populated areas had been contaminated with biological agents between 1949 and 1969. Later, the 1994 Rockefeller Report concluded hundreds of thousands of military personnel were also subjected to secret biological experiments over the last 60 years. But could secret testing be underway yet again?
I'd rather it be something inert and benign, something that's, not causing any damage, but I'd like to know what it is.
KSLA News 12 discovered chemtrails are even mentioned by name in the initial draft of House Bill 2977 back in 2001 under the Space Preservation Act. But the military denies any such program exists. Jeff Farrell, KSLA News 12 reporting.
And, it turns out until 9 years ago, the government had the right under U.S. law to conduct secret testing on the American public under specific conditions. Only a public outcry repealed.
Hi guys, just want to go through a couple of points which I came across researching lots of chemtrail information. I got sidetracked on the Morgellons disease and the relationship to chemtrails. And what I found is the fibres that are coming out of the Morgellons victims are very similar to those of chemtrails. I then also came across a range of patents, and the patents seem to show a range of ways to produce efficiently these polymer fibres which are coming out from the sky. Now, another thing that's also come from Morgellons sufferers are these little nanobots. We have fibres from the chemtrails which are very similar to what's being found in Morgellons sufferers. The blue polymer fibres and the other colours that are coming out of their skin. We also have these nanobots or some kind of nanotechnology associated with the Morgellons sufferers, which is coming through their lesions. Is it possible that these nanobots are a most efficient way of producing the nanofibres which are used in the chemtrails, because they'd have to use masses of it for the amount of spraying that they're doing, and they've either accidentally or purposely released these nanobots onto an unsuspecting population.
One is leaving a big stripe, and ahead is a smaller plane with just a normal chemtrail. It vanished after a few seconds. No chemicals or whatsoever. And then it's followed by this plane at the same height with a completely other trail, a chemtrail. These trails are gonna stick until it's become a big cloud like you see behind these new stripes. There goes the little one without chemicals, and here's one with chemicals. Strange, huh?
Wow, that is so far-fetched. It must be a big conspiracy. No, not really. This is a conspiracy. Or is it? I don't think so. In this image, you're going to see a regular chem plane trail. With one difference. Notice the white orb in the nose of the plane as it moves down back towards the tail. Is that sun reflection? It might be, but more than likely it's not, because the orbs are very specific. Notice the plane as it goes through the cloud. The plane all of a sudden disappears, but the chemtrail itself is still going forth. How is that possible? Oh my God, let's switch to infrared and see if we can come up with a solution. Inverted, there is no plane. The plane is transparent. That is because it is not a plane. It is simple. It is a hologram. Now in this image, there is snapshots and there is also moving video. You will see a plane in the sky. It is not laying a chemtrail or a contrail. However, do mermaids fly? This tail switches from a normal looking plain tail to a mermaid tail. It must be a hologram. Let's see. What else can we do to confirm this fact? There's a good picture. There's a nice mermaid picture of a plane. It is also transparent. You can see the clouds behind it. Okay? Slow motion for you to pick it up on the details. This was captured using the video camera and put through. Oh, look at that. More transparency. It's a real plane flying up there, believe me. Sure it is. Wow, look at that face right there. It's going to go right into it. There's the mouth, the nose, the eyes. That's pretty cool. But that's a real plane still flying. A transparent plane. Don't be fooled. Okay, here is another example. You see the plane flying into the cloud. Okay? Oh, by the way, it has a mermaid tail. As you can see it changing here, frame by frame. Now this plane goes into the cloud. Okay, you expect to see a plane come back out, right? Right, that would be the logical answer. Instead, we have this little bright, shining light that many of us call orbs. That's not normal. Where did that mermaid tail plane go? Did it disappear? And here is the final example of an orb, plane, hologram, whatever you want to call it. The sun is reflecting from the top. Why is this light coming from the bottom of the plane? It looks like it's coming from the bottom of the tail. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. But nevertheless, it is a strange reflection. Okay? That's the final example. Besides spreading Morgellons and other unknowns, why are they really doing this?
Smaller amounts of the chemical perhaps would give us people like Adolf Hitler or Charles Manson or Jeffrey Dahmer. The God gene is not science fiction, it's science fact.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalists, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. What you see
here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
The data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? The aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
Both dimethyltryptamine and VM82 are produced naturally in the pineal gland. So what is the pineal gland? It is a gland about the size of a pea located directly in the middle of your head. It is called the pineal gland because it resembles a tiny pine cone. This powerful gland is believed to be the seat of our soul and the gateway to the universe and higher realms. Because its structure is remarkably similar to an eyeball, it is often referred to as the third eye or the mind's eye. And it actually has a lens, cornea and retina. Why has it been ignored and given so little mainstream attention? Well, because it's our power source, and the ruling powers that be know this. Medical science refers to the pineal gland as the atrophied third eye. By the age of 12, it is already calcified and hardened, and by adulthood, it is dormant and atrophied through lack of use.
Ask yourself a simple question next time you look up into the sky. Really take a look at every cloud. If you see a plane leaving a very long trail, it probably contains some sort of chemical aimed specifically towards you. Thank you for viewing. As always, links are listed in the description. Please rate, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.